What's up, guys? It is Tuesday morning, back in the office here in Greenville, South Carolina. For today's episode, we're going to show you Sean Whalen's workshop that he did at Meltdown in the Desert. This was a number of hours on Sunday, but we're going to give you the best of it. What you guys hopefully have seen in me, this transition that you've seen in me, my mindset, my priorities, my outlook on everything right now has been a direct result of my time spent with Sean over the last few weeks. And it's my hope that you will get out of this workshop that he did at Meltdown in the Desert, just a little piece of what I've gotten of working from working with him personally. It's super, super powerful stuff if you truly, truly harness it. So take this seriously. When it says pause and to do something, do it. And if you do, I know that you'll get a ton out of this episode, so enjoy.
I just had a beard. It wasn't a full beard. And I was starting a podcast. I don't know how I found him. I found him like all you guys did. I was watching the video. And immediately connected. Asked him to come on the show. We did a few back and forth video Skype calls. Became friends. He's from Utah. He lives in Utah. I'm from Salt Lake City. And you fast forward that, the dude has been super instrumental for me. And understand when you fuck up and you make mistakes, it's okay. Stop lying to yourself about the positions that you're in, because most of them are self-inflicted. And going back into a systemized process to make yourself better. And at the time, it doesn't matter how many self-help books you read, it doesn't matter how many changes and things you go through, it's not until the time that message needs to be received, even if you hear it a million times, it's not until you're ready to hear it to where you'll actually receive it. The message you're going to hear today, I would say, saved my life two times. Most recently, last November, I was going through a really heavy, it was probably one of the most heavy experiences of my entire life, and it came out of, I can't say it came out of nowhere, because there was things that led up to it, but it came out of nowhere. And something happened. There was a moment where my entire life shifted, and I was literally 30 seconds away from some major things in my life changing. And I went into the car, and I picked up the phone. I picked up my cell phone. I could have called any of you guys, and you probably all would have answered. And I called Sean. He's the first person I called Sean. Because I knew what I was about to tell him. It was dark. I knew that it was as scary as hell. I knew it was heavy. And I knew he wouldn't allow me to bullshit. And he would hit me right in the face with what I needed to hear at the time I needed it. I didn't go process that when I called him. I just called him subconsciously. That was the first call that I made. He said, pack your shit. I got my kids this weekend. Drive to Salt Lake. Stay at the house. And I did. And in that process, you're going to go through some of the same stuff that I did. And so a lot of you guys are either in his private group or have worked with him. It absolutely changed my life. We don't always agree, but I love him and he's absolutely family. There's people you call to move, there's people you call to move a body. I'm the guy you call to move a body. I'll move a body for this dude. I'm absolutely honored. He's been part of every single Meltdown. He was the first dude that I asked to be part of the first Meltdown. We were in London together. And he's been a part of it every single year in some kind of capacity. So without further ado, it's my honor to bring to the stage Mr. Sean Whalen.
Just to be really clear, if you have a shitty day, you call me, most of you are really fucking weird, you're not coming to my house. No offense or anything, but I knew I could take you if I needed to, so that's why I was like, hey, come. I can take you if I need to. So, anyways, thank you very much, I appreciate it. Go.
Get out of here.
Guys, thank you. I wanted to first, is this really loud? Are we good? I want to express my appreciation and my gratitude. Last night was really cool for me. So many of you came up to me and shared words of appreciation for a video that I did or the book that I wrote. And I want you to know that a couple years ago, when I put a gun in my mouth and wanted to take my life, I didn't set out on this journey to write this book and to share videos with 800 plus million people. Last week, I sat down and I looked through my messages on Instagram, and I had 77 messages in a day. And it's more humbling than I can even explain to you to connect with you in this way. So I wanted to say thank you, like truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you for sharing, for being real, for being vulnerable, for being raw, because the world is starving for this shit. Many of you are starving for this. Like, it's such a fucking crazy thing, this social media game, isn't it? Like, just think how fast it's come, how fast it's changed how we communicate. Yeah, I don't know how many of you know me or don't know. I'm gonna give you a little quick backstory on how much of this has come to be, and today's gonna be a little bit different if you've seen me speak before or heard me, talking at the venue. Today's gonna be a little bit different. Because Colby wanted me to talk about the book and share some specific things with regards to the book. But a handful of years ago, I was the guy. How many of you are the guy? Guys, how many of you are the guy? Everybody, one of you should raise your hand. You're the guy. What I mean by that is I was running a company that had 171 employees. We did $22.5 million of revenue. I was working 20 hours a day. I was like the big swinging dick, right? Like the goal that we all have to build the business, to be the guy. And I found myself in a really interesting situation where in my early 30s, I was like, I had everything you could have. Cars, Rolexes, houses, $2,000 suits, the whole deal. And I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying any of that's bad or wrong, but I did everything for the wrong reason. I did it because it's what I was supposed to do. I did it because that's what we were told success looked like. And inside I was dying. Inside I was drowning. I had a really phenomenal family, a beautiful wife, 3 kids. And this idea of this box that we're supposed to be in, the story we're supposed to tell, like it's been programmed to us since we were little kids, right? How many of you remember being a little kid, sit down, quiet down, slow down. Don't say anything that's gonna offend anybody. Like, do as you're told, right? Get a job, go to school, white picket fence, get a minivan, Suburban if you're lucky, and ride off into the sunset and die. Well, I did all of that, and for some reason I wasn't happy. And in my early 30s, I decided to burn the whole thing to the ground. I left my marriage. I literally walked into a breakfast meeting with my business partner, handed him a single sheet of paper, turning over the entire company to him, and I disappeared for 2 years. I essentially went into my own wilderness, as I like to call it. And during that period of time, I put a gun in my mouth. It was a dark period. I'll never forget that day. I talk about it in my book. Those of you that read my book or heard me before, you've heard me share this, but I had so much fucking anger and pride inside of me. But I didn't tell anybody about any of that. How you doing, man? I'm good. I'm good. And one night I called my ex-wife and I was like, hurting. You ever hurt? You ever have that pain like inside of you where you're like, fuck, dude, nobody gets it, nobody understands. And I called her and I'm like, I just need to talk to you. And I could hear her boyfriend, who's now her husband at the time, say, is that Sean? Hang up on him, hang up on him. And I was in a dark spot, I needed to talk. To make a long story short, she ended up hanging up on me, and that night I put a gun in my mouth. And I wrestled with the idea of leaving and having it be better for my children, this guy who had made millions, lost millions, fucked everything up in his life. It would be better because my kids are young enough. If I just left now, they could like lead a normal life with a normal guy who had a normal 9 to 5 and, went to Disneyland once a year. And then there was the opposite side, which was like, this is your lot, bro. Like, where are you going? What are you gonna do? And that night I did something that I'd never done before. The following weeks, I asked for help. Ladies, do the men in your lives ask for help? Directions, maybe? No, we'll sort that shit out. It was one of the most difficult things that I did. that I'd done in my entire life was to finally say, I don't fucking know how to do this. And it wasn't make money, it wasn't build a business, it was, how do I not be angry? I didn't know how to not be angry. Like, there was so much shit inside that I didn't know how to talk about. I didn't know how to share, because we don't do that, right? We don't do that, guys, we don't do that. It's not how we're programmed. It's not how we've been raised. Like, don't say anything that might be offensive. Don't say anything that's out of the norm. Like, you go hang out, how you doing? Good. You're not fucking good, I wasn't good. And that started the journey that I've been on over the last couple of years. It resulted in this book, it resulted in a whole bunch of really cool, crazy shit with social media. The divorce I went through was really bad. I was a really angry guy. I said a lot of dumb stuff, and did a lot of dumb stuff, and I literally picked up and dropped off my kids from a police station for 6 months. That's how bad it was with my ex-wife. I literally had to pull into a parking lot and park, and she pulled in the park, and there was a police car in the middle. I couldn't get out, she couldn't get out. The cop came over and like, got our kids out, walking around and put them in the other car. It was fucked. I was fucked. I was angry. I didn't know what I was angry at. I figured out I was angry because I wasn't telling the truth. Truth, I mean, it sounds so fucking simple, right? If I ask you if you're a liar, I'm not a liar. Nobody in here is a liar, right? You're not a liar. Nobody lies. They tell the truth about everything. What I realized is I wasn't telling the truth about anything. Everything was superficial. Everything was the easy stuff, right? I never got into the real stuff. And through the process of over a year in working with my ex-wife, I was challenged by my coach to write this woman a letter of appreciation. How many of you have been through divorce? How many of you wanted your ex to get hit by a bus? Yeah. If she had gotten hit by a bus, I'd been like, give me the kids, we're out. Like, I had so much fucking anger and frustration. The very first assignment that I had from this guy was to write her a letter of appreciation. I'm like, look, give me the other bill, right? Give me the other assignment. I'll go climb a mountain, I'll clean up trash, whatever you want me to do, I'm not gonna do that. Like, but going into that space of understanding that this whole experience is not for the person you're sitting near, not for the person you're sitting next to, but for you. I wrote this letter and I started to send nice text messages versus mean text messages. And what I found was it wasn't for her. Like this truth thing, this reality that we're experiencing right now, you might be a father, you might be a mother, you might be a husband, wife, it's not for anybody else. This whole experience that we're having is for us. Like the entire experience that you're having right now is what tools are you going to take from this and then implement in your own life to make yourself a better person? If that just happens to strengthen your marriage, great. If that happens to make you more money, great. But I had been looking outside for so long and found nothing because I was fucking miserable inside. And after 14 months of sending text messages and writing letters and being nice, she finally said thank you. Like, how far are you willing to go? How long are you willing to go to get what you want? Like, we're such a simple, quick, easy society. Like, I did one Facebook video and fuck, it didn't hit 1 million views. Like, this is stupid. I'm not gonna do that shit. Whatever. Like, look, I made one sales call and I haven't made $1 million, so fuck this. Like, we want everything right here, right now. The question is, how far are you willing to go to create radical change in your life? And one night, I went to go pick up my kids after a year and a half of this. And I pulled up to the house, and understand, I mean, this was like not too long after police car stuff. And we finally got to the point where I could go to the house to pick up the kids. We get to the house, and my wife, ex-wife, had remarried this guy who was 10 years younger. And anyways, it was really interesting stuff, you know? If you've been divorced and remarried, you're always judging that person and whatever else, and I was very much like that. I pulled up to the house, and my ex-wife had this new baby. And my kids come to the door like, Dad, come in. I'm like, no, just get your shit, come on. We're good. Just go jump in the car, we're good. No, Dad, come see baby. Mom, can Dad come see baby? And I'm like, don't say that. Stop. Just get your shit and get in the car. We gotta go. I mean, I hadn't seen this woman face to face for a long fucking time. My son pops out and goes, Dad, Mom says you can come see the baby. And a brand new baby. I'm like, fuck. I don't want to go in and see the baby. Fine, I'll do it. And I got in and went in and sat in her living room and held this new baby. Like my son ran over and like grabbed the baby from her and handed me the baby. I'm like, shit, what are you guys fucking doing to me right now? I wanted her to get hit by a bus, not hold the fucking baby. Shit. And it had been such a fucking dark period, man. And I realized like the whole thing was for me. One of my favorite quotes is by a gentleman named Thomas Monson. He's actually was the president of the Mormon Church. He said, you are who you are today because of the choices and decisions that you made yesterday. You are who you are today because of the choices and decisions that you made yesterday. Most of us run around with this feeling of guilt. Fuck a lot of stuff up, I'm a bad person. I can't ever be this again. I can't ever be I can't ever do. And I'm here to tell you, like, all of that dumb, dark shit is what makes you badass. As I'm sitting there in this living room holding this baby and the kids are like looking and everybody's looking and it's like, it was awkward for me, it was weird. I can stand up in front of 10,000 people and talk and just sitting there with like the eyes looking at me holding this baby. I'm like, stop looking at me. Like just, I snapped this selfie with the baby and did my thing and I was your average asshole with a couple of people on Facebook and I shared little positive quotes that were blah, 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 and the whole thing. And I ended up going home that night and my kids were getting ready and I wrote this Facebook post. And for the first time in my life, I told the truth. I said I was an asshole. I wrote this post and I said, you guys will have no fucking idea like how monumental this moment was for me. And I talked about how big of a dick I was during my divorce. I talked about all of the mean shit that I had said. And for the first time, I didn't put the asterisk there and go, but it was because she did, but it was because what she did. I finally owned my shit. Like I finally told the truth and I didn't give a shit what anybody thought. I was like, this is real, this is me. That night I went to bed and woke up the next morning and I'll never forget, like, that post had 1K next to it in likes. I was like, I don't know what that means. Is that like 1,000? And for the next week, 10,000 people an hour liked that post. It was shared millions of times. And I was like, I just told the truth. And since that period of time, it's been like the most insane journey for me. And for many of you that work with me or part of Lions Not Sheep, wherever else, to know like how liberating the truth is. But it's the scariest fucking thing that we'll do. Because it's not what we're programmed to do. We're programmed to lie. Ever since we were little children, we've been programmed by our school systems, by our religion, by our parents, to lie. If you're a little kid in school and you're bouncing around or wherever, your teacher gets mad and they call your parents, what happens? Your parents get mad too. Think about that, like we've been programmed to do as we're fucking told. Here I was at 30 years old, like, dude, I'm not happy. How many of you have ever felt that way? I'm pretty much everybody here. How many of you ever asked yourself, like, what's the fucking point of this? Like, what's the point of this existence? Why am I really here? It's been the most insane journey to, like, continue to open up and share and connect with all of you and see your lives change simply based off of this principle of truth. So fast forward a couple years, I worked with a bunch of different coaches, a bunch of different people, and had all of these experiences and this newfound following through social media and all of these people that were like, dude, you're so great and cool. And I'm like, I don't think you understand. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm just telling you my life. You have all this stuff figured out, and like, I don't have anything figured out. I'm just walking down the path like you're walking down the path. I'm just sharing it. And what's really fascinating is like, we tend to attract the people who we're living like, right? Like if you're really, really, really overweight, you're not hanging out with the rip dudes at the gym. If you're broke as shit, I guarantee most of your friends are not wealthy. And so if you're not telling the truth, I guarantee most of your friends and most of your colleagues, most of your coworkers aren't either. And it's this fascinating experience when you start to do things differently, what happens? Your whole world changes. The people in your space change. My business changed. And so for a couple of years, I decided I wanted to write a book, right? Everybody writes a book. How many of you have written a book? It's hard as shit to write a book, isn't it? Like, it's terribly hard to write a book because in my mind, I'm terrified because I'm like, these words are permanent. Like a Facebook post, I can go, delete, that was stupid, I shouldn't have said that, right? If I put that shit in ink in a book that's on the shelf, like, that's done, that ship has sailed. And it's terrifying. It's like really, really, really hard. This is one of the most difficult things I ever did was write a book. I wanted to write a book about divorce. I wanted to write a book about, like, depression, about suicide, about masculinity, about all this other shit. And I started writing a book. Then I started writing another book. And I started writing another book. How many of you have ever done this? Like, you start something and you're like on to 27 other things and you never finish the one thing? I am, because I have like severe ADHD, and that's just how I operate. And in November, a really good friend of mine hit me up. And he's like, dude, you need to do this. You need to write this book. I was like, I have no idea what to write about. And he asked me a question. And this is like what I really want to share with you today. And what I hope you get out of today. In not only working with me, but working with each other over the next hour or so. He asked me this question, and it like blew me away. There's really only two people who've ever asked me a question that stumped me. I don't ever get stumped, really. Jesse Elder, who you had the privilege of hearing from yesterday, asked me a question at his house in Austin, and I'll share it with you later. And I didn't have an answer. I'm like, that was really good, because I don't know how to answer that. And this other question. He said to me, he's like, what one thing would you share with the world? If you could only share one thing, if you could only share one message, you know that you never get to speak again, you never get to share anything again, you know this is it, what would it be? And I was like, that's a heavy question. But it instantly came to my mind. And that's how I came up with and wrote my book. How many of you read this? It's crazy. Like, a little secret, want a little secret? Fine, go to page number 27, please. There's no page numbers. Like, just a little insight, a little sidetrack for you. My little squirrel brain running around. From the first words that were written to the time that it was actually on Amazon being published was 5 weeks. And one of the first reviews that was left on Amazon was like, it was a great book, but anybody else notice there's no page numbers? And I'm like, page numbers? I pick up the book and I'm like, shit, there's no page numbers. Page numbers. I called the editor and I was like, there's no page numbers. And she's like, yeah, like that's a big deal. I totally forgot that. And I'm like, what do we do about that? Do we redo the book, the whole thing? And like in that moment, I was like, this is me, man. This is what we're all fucking missing, right? This is literally like, we're trying to be perfect and perfect and perfect and perfect. And we end up not doing shit. Instead of just shipping it. We have these thoughts and these feelings that we like get our phones out, we're like, fuck, never mind. It's so hot. Mom's gonna see that, and my sister's gonna see that, and never mind. And literally like, a little insight for you guys here, like, I've got another book in the works, and I'm not gonna put page numbers in it. That's my thing. That's my little thing now. So just so you know, if you ever buy another one of my books, there will be no page numbers in it. Everything happens for a reason, guys. But what I'm finding more and more and more of is just indicative of who I am and what's happening in the space of being fucking real and vulnerable and realizing that we are fucked up. You're as fucked up as anybody else in here. All of us are. Last year at the Meltdown, it was similar to this, and I'm talking about marketing and social media and the whole thing. And how many of you were at the Meltdown last year? I don't know, maybe you remember this, maybe you don't, but I'm in the middle of talking about social media. And I stopped and I was like, how many of you ever thought about killing yourself? And it was like Shane, like, what did he say? Did he really say that? You guys remember this? How many of you thought about killing yourself? And it was kind of like, I'm like, I have, like, a lot, multiple times. And almost every single person's hand in the room went up. Remember this? Remember this, you there? Everybody's raised their hand. And I said, all right, cool, put your hands down. I was like, how many of you ever told anybody? And there was like 5 or 6 hands. See, you think you're an island. You think your story's crazy. You think that nobody knows how bad my divorce was. Nobody knows how fucked up my marriage is. Nobody understands like what's going on inside my brain. Yet everybody here is just as freaking screwed up as you. Everybody here has drama. Everybody here has all of this stuff going on, and yet we're living in these little worlds and cocoons and boxes saying, I can't tell anybody because it's weird. Truth is liberation. That's not a meme. That's on the Instagram thing. You're like, yeah, that's cool, man. It's real. And I can tell you that the person sitting next to you, the person sitting a row, 2, 4 behind you, has just as much darkness as you. Has stories just like you. But we're literally living in this space where we don't share anything, we don't tell anything, and it's bubbling up inside of us, and it's bubbling up inside our brain, and it's causing so much weight. Because we're worried about being judged. Guess what? You're going to be judged either way. If you're super ripped, you must be on drugs. If you're fat, you're lazy. If you're rich, you must be ripping somebody off somehow, because there's no way you should have all that money. And if you're poor, you're just lazy and you don't know how to manage your time. We're being judged 24/7, 365. So the real question is, what do you want? How many of you have ever worked with me? Stand up if you have. Like in the lion's den or working or whatever. Like, what's the very first question that I ask? It's like one of the most fucking difficult questions for a human being to answer.
What do you want?
What do you want? Close enough. Thank you. What do you want? Think about that. Do you know what you really want? What do you really fucking want? Are you more concerned about the judgments of the neighbors and the people at church and the coworkers and the colleagues, or do you want freedom? Like, what do you really fucking want? What I found is the life of chaos that I was living is not what I wanted. I wanted freedom. I wanted liberation. I wanted to figure out how to build what I wanted to build and really not give a crap about anybody else. And that's ultimately what I put in the pages of my book. And what I found is, through the last couple of years of working with coaches and groups, a system, an ability to literally be able to control and dictate everything happening in your life. That's what I put in this book. We think that we have it all sorted out, right? But how many of you go day to day, working really fucking hard, having a long day, and then sitting back going, like, what did I really get done today? How many of you ever had days like that? Literally, look around. You think you're not, look around. Every single person in here. What I'm all about and what I've figured out and what I've spent the last 3-4 years working on is understanding how to become a sniper. How many of you hunt? No hunting. What happens if you go try and shoot a deer at 300 yards with a shotgun? You're just shooting all over the place. What I want to be able to do with my life, with my business, with my relationships, with my time, is just one shot, one kill. Be able to just be completely straightforward, honest, and direct with what it is that I want. But the real question is, what do you want? So here's what I want you guys to do for a second. If you're taking notes on your phone, that's great. If you're taking notes on your pad, that's great. Colby wanted this to be a workshop. I'm like, cool, what does that mean? Like, these are big, huge people, and it's different for everybody. But what I want you guys to do is I want you to take a few minutes, and I want you to write that question down on the top of whatever you're taking notes with, and try and answer it. Like, what do you really want? What do I want? There's no right or wrong answer here. There's no right or wrong answer. But take the next few minutes and try and answer that question. Be as real, be as raw, be as vulnerable. The person you're sitting next to, maybe split up from them if it's your wife or your husband or whatever else, and they can't see you and think you're a total fucking nut job. They probably already do, but now we get real about it. Try and answer that question, friends. What do you want? Okay? Take about 5 minutes to do this. You guys have any music we can put on in the back? By chance? So it's not really awkward. You see how this works? So what I wrote about and how to make shit happen and what I wanted to share with you and what Chloe wanted me to talk about with this is literally what I do every single day, which has become, call it a religion, call it a thing, call it whatever. It's literally a lifestyle. It's literally a lifestyle. Knowing that there's only 4 components of my life that I control every single day, and every single thing that you do in your life falls under one of these 4 categories: power, passion, purpose, or production. Power, your body, what we call core 4. Passion, your relationships. Purpose, your mind. And production, your business. There's literally nothing that you can tell me that is outside of any of those 4 areas. So what would it look like? What would it look like if you went hunting every single day with a rifle, knowing this is exactly what I'm going to do here, 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 and here? One of my favorite times of the year is Christmas, for 2 different reasons. Number 1, I love Christmas. But number 2, I love everybody's goals. How fired up does everybody get in December? Oh, 2018 is going to be my year, son. I'm going to freaking crush it. And last year I had a really cool experience, and social media's continued to grow. There's this guy, he put a picture up of a Lamborghini. He's like, I'm going to buy this in 2018. Some of you heard me share this. I was like, that's dope, dude. How are you going to do it? Because I genuinely want to know, like, if he's got the game and the thing, like, I'm learning from everybody. I'm extracting stuff from every human being that I'm around all day long. That's what we should be doing, right? Reading the books, listening to the podcast, just filling your fucking brain. Purpose, part of the core 4, filling your brain with new shit. And I said, how are you going to do that? He's like, dude, I'm going to hustle like I've never hustled. I spent 30 seconds just flipping through his Facebook, and every other fucking post is a Gary Vee, hustle, grind, hustle, grind, hustle, grind. I'm like, bro, you already look like you're hustling, so how exactly are you going to buy this car? And you want to know what his answer was? Why do you have to be a dick, bro? I swear to God. Think about that for a second. The difference between the person that ends up buying that car and doesn't end up buying that car is simply this. The person buying that car says it's 300 grand. I get really clear on what they want. I want to buy this car. It's $300,000, which means I want to buy it in July. From December, we got 6 months to buy this car. I need to make 300 grand in 6 months, which means I need to make this much per quarter, this much per month, this much per week, and this much per day. How much easier is it to look at it and say, okay, I need to make $427 per day to buy my Lamborghini? Small little pieces. Want to know how you get big results? Doing small shit. You want to know how you get the biggest freaking results in your life, in your body, in your relationships, in your business? Doing small little things every single day, and that's what Core 4 is. That's what How to Make Shit Happen is it's a guide of literally how to take small bites every single day to get big results. There's a ton of you in here that are jacked. Did that happen overnight? Did that happen with one rep, Brian? How long have you been working on your body, bro? Stand up, show me how jacked you are. How long have you working on your body?
4 years consistently.
Years. So you didn't just go do curls one day and go, fuck, this is stupid.
No, and I'm still working.
What would it look like, friends, if you got really fucking clear on what you wanted, and then could literally build a map of how to get it? I'm gonna buy the Lambo, and instead of saying, I'm just gonna fucking hustle and grind and working those 20-hour days like I was doing at the end of the day going, oh my God, such a freaking busy day. Cool, what'd you do? I don't really know. What if you literally knew you had to make 400, whatever the number is in the math, and how to buy a fucking car? What if you had to make $427 a day, and that's literally all you fucking focused on to get that done? What would it look like if you're out of shape, you're not feeling so good, you hired the trainer and just shut your fucking mouth and went to the gym every single day and got your ass kicked in 30, 60, 90 days? Guess what you now have? Significant results. Or you can just keep buying dumb shit online, Googling this, Googling that, going to the gym, talking smack with your friends, and going home and go do those great workouts. You didn't even fucking break sweat. What Core 4 is and what I wrote in this book is literally the map of how to get the shit that you want in life. Like, we have it wrong. Guys, for you in particular, if you've spent the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years like not focused on your relationship, guess what? One bouquet of flowers doesn't solve that problem. Radical change, write this down. Radical change requires radical change. Radical fucking change in your life requires radical change. I hated my ex-wife. I despised her. I did not want to say, I appreciate you. It was the last fucking thing I wanted to do. But in order for me to create what I now have, which is a phenomenal relationship, we went camping a couple weeks ago, I'm good with her freaking husband, we're like one big happy fucking family. It took 2.5 years of doing shit. And 99% of the time, she didn't say anything about it. There was no thanks. I did it for me. What would it look like if you could literally build out a map to get the body you wanted? Like, what would it look like if you built out a map to get the business that you want? But how are we programmed? I'm out of shape. I went to the gym, I did 4 sit-ups, I picked up my shirt, shit, I still don't have 6-packs. This is a joke. I'm not gonna do this. It's how we operate, right? That's how we do shit. So here's what I want to accomplish today. I want you guys to get clear, like this is not the environment where we can really dive deep into every single one of your experiences, but I think we can go far enough that you can leave here with a sense of the map. And honestly, if you have not bought this, I highly recommend you do it. I have not made one red penny on this. Literally, Amazon charged me $3.59 for the actual hard copy of the book, and that's what I'm charging for it. I wanted to give the world like the most important lesson that I've ever learned. I wanted to put out there like the single greatest nugget that ultimately helped me go from putting a fucking gun in my mouth to having a phenomenal relationship with my ex-wife and reaching hundreds of millions of people around the world. That's what's in this. I can tell you that if your life is chaos, it's remedy. You can remedy it. But radical change requires radical change. It's not easy, but it's possible. How difficult is it to change your life? How long have you been working on changing shit, right?
Close to 2 years now.
It's not easy. It's hard. Are you in a better space than you were 2 years ago?
100%.
Are you in a more clear space than you were 2 years ago? Cool. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to, if you're here with someone, I want you to split up. I want you to really quickly find a partner. I'm going to give you like 30 seconds to find a partner. Here's the rules. Hang on, don't go crazy yet. What I want you to do is I want you to read what you just wrote down to whoever your partner is. Now, as you're the partner, let me explain something to you about being a partner, okay? You can be the kind of partner that's like, yeah, that sounds great, and have no fucking clue what they just said. Or you can be the kind of partner that's like, why do you want that? I've had 5 professional MMA fights. And one of the things that I learned from Court McGee, who was one of my training partners, many of you might know him, who fought in the UFC, phenomenal dude. He's like, I wanted to know that the fight was the easy part, so I went with dudes that were literally trying to kill me. I trained with dudes that wanted to hurt me. Like, if you want to be a good partner, go hard. If you want to be a good partner, if I want to help Court win his fight, if I'm just hanky-panking it with him in the ring, I'm not helping him. I want to go as hard as I fucking can. If you're a partner and you have no clue what they're talking about, I want you to ask them one question. Why? Why do you want this? This is the beauty of this exercise, is the more you start to vocalize what it is that you want, most of you will find out something which is really fascinating. You have no fucking clue what you want. And that's good. That's actually a really beautiful thing, because now guess what you can do? Figure out how to get it. Align with the right people. Understand that it takes certain tools to get really fucking clear. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to grab a partner and just spread out around here. And I want you to take a few minutes. I'll tell you when to start. Grab a partner and just go sit in the seat, and I'll tell you when we start. I want you to read what it is that you wrote down to them. And as the partner listening, when they're done, I want you to take a minute and ask them why. I want you to get clear on what it is that they want. Understand? Okay, go.
Have a partner that keeps asking me why versus backing down or being intimidated or whatever. Just saying, oh yeah, you're good, okay. But she kept asking me why at least 6, 7 times.
And we actually ended up in a very different place than the first answer. And I do this in our business. And we go about 7 layers deep. And it's uncomfortable as fuck, I'll tell you. Asking somebody you've never met over the phone, why do you want this? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, why is that important to you? Blah, blah, blah. And why is that? And when you go 7 layers deep, you end up in a whole new place.
Awesome. I mean, I don't care if it's 1, 2, 7, 10, 12. How many of you would agree that after listening to yourself say it, or listening to your other partner say something, you started to change what it is that you wrote? How many of you experienced that? You understand the question? Like, as you're sharing, how many of you realize that probably what you wrote down was more superficial than what you really meant to say or what you really want to say? You understand that? Yeah. Isn't it?
The answers changed.
The answers change. Why?
Because he was asking me more and more.
Stand up.
He was asking me more and more, and what I had written down, it's like, but why? But how does that look for you? What does that mean? And
I'm hurrying as fast as I can, jeez.
No, it changes. When somebody asks you and pushes you and says, but why? What does that look like? And it takes you in a different direction. And it's a process. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Who else? Who else?
Yeah, you feel the resistance of, you have this idea or you have the desires that you're trying to get after, but it's kind of like, I think it's Da Vinci who would talk about David, where you're chipping away and you're trying to get to that perfect vision of the sculpture of the life that you want, and 9 times out of 10, you'll do that first thing and you see the crack and you're like, oh shit, I don't know anything.
So when you said resistance, who felt the resistance? You felt it as you were sharing?
As you're going through the sharing, the more wise, the more it's the refinement that is also producing this resistance inside you that, well, I don't want to talk about it, but then you push through because you've got it.
How many of you would agree with that? How many of you would agree that you feel resistance as you're sharing this? Because you start being asked questions and it's really simple to say superficial, right? Well, why? Why is that important? How much money? Like, what do you want to look like? What do you want your relationship to be like? You get further down that rabbit hole of not really knowing or having an answer, but it's actually making you now create something that you otherwise weren't thinking about. Like, what would it look like? Fathom for a second. What would it look like? This is what I wrote about in my book. This is the process that I've been on, is literally being able to create a lifestyle where I know what I'm doing with my body, I know what I'm doing with my relationships, I know what I'm doing with my business, I know what I'm doing with my mind, my spirituality, like every single day. And being able to answer these questions on your own. What if you could get to a point where you could call your own bullshit? Yeah, right? What would it look like? Imagine if you spent enough time in your mind and your world and going through this with coaches, with mentors, with people that won't let you bullshit. What would it look like in 12 months or 18 months from now when you go write down your 90-day targets or your 6-month goals or whatever, and you're like, that was dumb, dude. I know that I want more than that. I know I can expand more than that. Like, what we're talking about is evolution, internal progress, being able to literally create a map for yourself where you're constantly growing. You're constantly expanding. You're constantly doing something more. Because it's really easy to go to the gym and not be pushed. But the same thing when you're talking about and asking those questions and resistance, how do you get bigger muscles? Lifting the light shit or the heavy shit? Well, technically you can probably get ripped lifting the light shit too, but just roll with me on this one, right? You understand what I'm saying? You gotta lift heavy weights. You have to do stuff that hurts. You have to expand. What else? Who else?
I'll wait.
Just yell out. We can all hear you. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Now he's waiting.
Yell. No, I don't want to.
Well, personally, the experience is exhilarating because one of the things that resonated most, like, I feel like all of us in here we're itching. Like, most people have been so secluded or just tied down and just, like, all of this whole experience this feels like it needs to be the normal. And I feel like most people were itching to go ahead and tell us to the average person to walk around, but now, like, this environment makes it very, very open to do it. And so, as we go ahead and peel back, it's important for us to, like, really be in this environment, because this should be the normal conversation, but we're so asleep, and then we go ahead and you start this whole conversation, and it's like waking us up. So, like, like I was telling my partner, it's really important. I really want to like suffocate myself in this environment because I want this to be my normal. I want to be able to see Sean on the street and not know who he is and just go into that deep conversation. We're just so surface level in our engagement. So that's what I take away from it.
What I'm telling you, this is the norm. This is the norm. The question is, do you want to get out of the box?
Yeah.
The question is are you willing to leave people behind that aren't willing to expand? That's God's honest truth, bro. Real talk. Like when you talk about breaking social contracts, when you talk about expansion, guess what? You will leave people behind. You are who your friends are. Think about it.
What is that person's wife, yourself?
What do you think? What do you think?
Get a new wife.
What do you think? What do you think?
I can't leave her. I don't want to leave her.
I'm not telling you to leave her. I'm just here saying to leave her. I'm talking about your own personal expansion. What does that have to do with your wife? See? Relationships, my friends, are 100 and 100. Yes. And I can tell you the second that you stop worrying about your wife or your husband or trying to manipulate them or change them or get them to do this or act this way or whatever, your life will be a fuck ton better. Your relationship will be much better. As soon as you start working on yourself and as soon as you stop, like your whole thought process right there was scarcity. Instantly thinking, she's not going to level up. She won't do enough. That's dumb. Why are you worried about her? Worry about you. You do you. You're not working out every single day for her. The benefit is you look good and she wants to fuck you more. You're not studying and expanding your mind to walk around and be like, I'm like fucking Socrates in this bitch. You're doing it to become a stronger man. You're earning more money and building a business so that you can invest more with her, expand the empire, do whatever it is that you want to fucking do. But our natural carnal mind goes to, well, I'm going to go on this fucking journey and I'm going to leave her ass behind. What am I going to do? I did not do what I did for my ex-wife. Hear me. I didn't do that to build a relationship with her. I did it because I was fucking angry and didn't want to be angry anymore. And the benefit of me now understanding myself, my own insecurities, my own shit, I now was able to build a great relationship with her. As soon as I did what? Told everybody in my space to fuck off and worked on me. None of you are paying my mortgage. Like, think about this for a second. You're gonna go home tomorrow, fuck all these people. I'd stop on the side of the road and help any of you change a tire. You need a shirt, I'll give you a shirt. But I legitimately don't give a flying fuck about any of you. Think about that for a second. Really think about that. What happens when you go so deep inside that you become okay with you? You legitimately don't give a shit about what anybody says, what anybody thinks, because you're so fucking clear and you're on a mission for yourself. I don't do what I do for you. I did not share what I shared that night to go, this post is gonna go viral and everybody's gonna fucking love it and they're all gonna want me to sign their books and shit. I did it because I was a fucking liar and I didn't want to lie anymore. And it was the most liberating thing for me to start getting the rocks out of my own backpack. Guess what happens when you take the rocks out of your own pack? You start running faster. The benefit is like you have this woman now that's with you going, well, what are you doing? What are you doing? In fact, I'm glad you asked that question. I'm gonna shift shit up. Come up here. Come up here. This is the beauty. Like I don't have a set thing. Like I go with what comes, right? So I want to introduce you to my friends, and this is not scripted or whatever. I met Mike a couple years ago, and Mike has been part of the Lion's Den, which is a group that I have and work with me one-on-one on the whole thing. We have as well, not only personally but with the business. And I can tell you that as I worked with Mike, how much did we focus on your wife?
First time?
Every time you'd be like, her.
No, zero. You wouldn't. Why? Because you wouldn't let me go there because I was fucked up. Right. I can't, king eats first. I can't help and focus on anybody else as long as I'm broken, as long as I'm not working on myself. Is my problem when I came to see you is I was full of excuses. I was laying blame, justifying and making excuses for everything wrong that went on in my life. It was our partner's fucking fault. It's her fault that I'm where I'm at. This person cut me off, so fuck you, it's their fault. And I never was able to look into myself and say, it's my fucking fault. I was the asshole of that person in traffic, so they did what they did. I came in pissed off that morning and said the wrong thing to my wife, so now we're in an argument, and that's my fault that I caused that.
So you took accountability.
I took accountability in myself.
My question is, as he started working on him, what did that do to your relationship?
That totally shifted our relationship.
Why? How?
Because he didn't have a voice before. It was all about me and what I wanted, and that's what it was all about. And it was hard at first because I was like, wait, who the fuck are you? Like, we've been married for 15 years.
Been together 18?
We've been together 18, and he totally shifted. And so it was really hard for the first probably 6 months.
Why?
Because it changed the dynamic.
Why?
Because he started focusing on himself.
And how did that work for your relationship? What did that do for you?
It made me uneasy at first.
So then what did you have to do?
Then I had to start working on myself.
At any point in time, was he telling you, you gotta do core 4, you gotta work on your shit, get your shit together?
No. No, because I just didn't want to be left behind.
Punch him in the face.
That's right.
But as he worked on himself, it changed the dynamic here, right?
Right.
And that naturally gave you the space to now look at yourself and go, oh, okay, he's looking better. He's getting in shape, okay. And then what did you do?
Well, then I hired a personal trainer, and now I've been working out and taking it to the next level, and also with our business, too.
What's interesting about this is the natural programming is like, I gotta try and fix you. I'm like smart, right? I learned this shit from the book and I gotta now teach you. How many of you have ever been on an airplane? What's the very first thing they tell you when you get on an airplane? If that shit hits the fan, which first of all, like seriously, like, the plane goes down, like we're all fucked anyway, so. But let's just hypothetically say that the masks come down. But what is that everybody says? Like, the nobility of man is like, nah, dude, I'm gonna do this for my wife. I'm gonna put my kid's mask on first. I'm gonna put my wife's mask on first. Newsflash, there's no fucking air. Now you're all dead. You wanna know what's really noble? You wanna know what's really cool? Is when you put your own fucking mask on first, you get your mind, your body, and your bank account right. Now guess what you get to do? Help a lot of other people. Does this make sense? But what are we running around doing? Trying to put on everybody else's mask, all this other bullshit, and guess what's happening to us? We don't have any air to fucking breathe. I spent my whole world helping all my employees and doing all this shit for everybody else and making sure everybody was taken care of and working 20 hours a day and and guess who was drowning? Me. I'm telling you right now, selfishness is fucking beautiful. It's beautiful. Focus on you. Do you. And guess what the benefit is? The rest of the world changes with you. Would you agree? What happened, Amy? Stand up really quick. Amy, what happened when Eric started focusing on himself?
He just completely shifted. I mean, he's always been a hard worker. You know, he never sits down. And when he came back, he first told me that he was going, and I was like, oh my God, yes, go, do it. And he came back, and instantly he had a direction. he always says this, he was tired of being average. He was just going, he was an employee, he knew he wanted something, he didn't know how to get there. And he found that direction, and it's been 3 years?
Almost, yeah.
And it's completely changed. We've always had a good relationship, that was never an issue. It was just him refocusing and knowing how to get there. And it's awesome to watch. It's so exciting to watch and see.
Why?
Because he has purpose and he has excitement again. He kind of was lost. There was no challenge there. He kept learning things, but there was no challenge. And now it's just constant and adding value to people.
How has that changed the dynamic of your relationship?
Well, 6 months ago I came home, I'm like, I'm tired of my job. He goes, what do you want to do? I go, I've been watching you for 6 years. I want to do what you're doing. So now we do it together. And my goal is to be able to quit my job and work 100% together. It's completely changed. And I'm excited. When we come home, we do talk about work because we enjoy it. We enjoy doing things together. We enjoy working together. And it's completely changed.
You want to share anything?
Yeah, so when I went to get instruction from Sean, I went to the Lions on Sheep experience about 2.5 years ago. And the experience is kind of one step up from Lion's Den. It's a lot more physically intense. And I kind of went in without I didn't know what to expect. He said, expect an intense physical and mental workout. That's all I knew. So I go into this, and I'm not going to give it away, but it was absolutely that. And it changes the way that you think. It changes the way that you kind of approach people, relationships, business, everything else. And I went from, I was the guy that was in there because I was average, and I wasn't okay with that. There was other guys in there who were there for their own reasons. They were there for their marriage is failing, or the business is failing, or they were an addict. All these problems that people have. And I was the capitalist prick in there that just wanted to make more money because money equals freedom. And I wanted to be able to go do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. I think I've heard you say that 100 times, and it's right. So after I went through that, and it kind of made sense, and I made progress. Then it was 2.5 years ago, I was capped out at my corporate salary, which is like, you can only imagine what a capped out corporate salary as a marketing guy was. It wasn't great. I was comfortable, but it was like, eh. So now I'm making 3 times that. And now I buy stupid cars I don't need.
What do you do every day? What do you do every day that's giving you like the direction and the clarity?
Well, your day's a lot longer because now you get up at 5:30 and I go, hike Camelback Mountain at Jim State.
What do you do every day? What do you do every day?
Work my ass off. I work toward that goal.
You have direction?
Yep.
Purpose?
Yep.
Power, passion?
Yep.
Purpose, production?
Not lost anymore, not wondering what to do. Want to get up, sit in front of the computer, and just sit on Facebook all day. You know what you're doing.
What do you do every day, Mike?
Core 4.
Like, the beauty of remote thinking, by the way, is beautiful.
I wanted to have them share this, and I didn't tell anybody that I was going to have them do this, and so thank you for doing that, because I know it's scary. Some people freak out in this environment, but the reality is, guys, if you want to get results, you got to figure out how to get there, and just throwing the shit up on your vision board isn't how to do it. Like saying, I'm going to do this deal, I'm going to buy this Lambo, blah, 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 the whole thing. That sounds great, but how the fuck are you going to really do it? And this is how people that are operating at a high capacity get results. This is how the baseball players have become the best in the world. Consistent, simple actions every single day. You literally just answered one question, what do I want? And how many of you feel a little bit more free now after just sharing that one thing? Just sharing that one thing with your neighbor, how do you feel? You said you felt excited, liberated. Just sharing one thing. What would it look like if you were to do this with your entire space, your entire life? Being able to wake up every single day with a purpose and a direction is what most people are lacking. Being able to have the clarity, Tyler, how many hours a day were you working? A lot?
All of them?
All of them.
All of them. And how many hours a day are you working now?
Way less.
A lot less. How does that feel? Where's your wife off to? Oh, she is up. Is it better having work less or more?
Less.
Less. Yeah. Because you get shit done. How to make shit happen. So guys, here's what I want you to do. One more thing. Because I can't get into the depth of it with every single one of you, but here's what I want you to do. Core 4 is literally, it encompasses every single thing that you do, from your body, your mind, your relationships, and your bank account, okay? This is an exercise that if you read the book and you follow it, you can stay in touch with people here and you find different groups and masterminds that you can work with other people, whoever said that, working with people, having a network, having a group, having a tribe of people that are working this shit every single day. Like, it's not hard to find these people. You got a room full of people that are doing this, right? What I want you to do is I want you to take the next couple of minutes and I want you to write down 4 things. I want you to write down the word power, the word passion, the word purpose, and the word production. Power, passion, purpose, production. To be really clear, and I know that some of you have not read the book, those of you that have know what I'm talking about. Power is the body, your fitness, your strength. Passion, your relationships. And I'm not just talking intimate. The amount of bandwidth that you spend in negative relationships or toxic relationships or drama with mom or dad or brother or sister is literally eating you alive. So when I talk relationships, I'm talking about every relationship that you have. If some of you already know exactly what I'm talking about right now, you already have that thought in your brain of somebody that you have beef with, somebody that you have drama with, a family member that's estranged for whatever reason. That shit takes space in your brain every single day. What would it look like if you could eliminate that and now be operating with full capacity? Okay? The third one is purpose, your mind, your connection to more, learning more, understanding more. And the last one is production. Business, making money. Making a lot of money. So here's what I want you to spend the next couple minutes doing. I want you to now ask that same question in each of these 4 categories. What do I want in my body? What's really fascinating about this is I hear people all the time talk about, I'll see at the top, at the top, at the top, at the top. There is no fucking top. Okay, financially, unless your name is Jeff Bezos, you're not even close to the fucking top. Okay? One of my really good friends, my trainer, his wife was 3rd in Mr. Olympia. I mean, this chick is like a specimen. And every single competition I see her do, she comes back and is like, I want to do this better, and this better, and this better. But if you look at her, it's like the perfect physique. She's like the perfect physique. But she's constantly leveling up, constantly making small little tweaks to make herself better. So what do you want with your body? Where do you want to go? What do you want to look like? How do you want to feel? I'm tired of being tired. I fucking have adrenal fatigue. I want to get my testosterone tested. I don't know what it is. But I can tell you that if you can answer these questions inside of each of these categories, guess what you can now build inside of each of these 4 aspects? A map. Is it easier to find your destination with a map or without it? Most guys are like, well, fuck it, we'll just run everything over until we get there. Which is why they don't ever get any results. Okay? Power's the body, passion, relationships, purpose, the mind, production, business. I want you to take the next 10 minutes or so, and I want you to answer the single question that we asked earlier, what do I want with my body? There's no right or wrong to this. What do you want to look like? What do you want to feel like? What do I want in my relationships? I want to end the beef with mom. I want to squash the shit with my brother. I want to go here I want to learn how to have sex better. I want to fucking do whatever it is. There's no right or wrong. What's coming to your mind? What are you feeling? Purpose, your mind. Are you cluttered? Are you meditating? Do you have the ability to control your mind? Do you have the ability to literally control what's happening in your space? The fascinating thing about road rage is we act like that. Most of us do. Like some dude cuts you off, and what do? You lose your shit. No one made you lose your shit. You chose to lose your shit. No one made you get out of the car and beat that guy's ass on the side of the road. You chose that. Literally, oh, but he cut me off. It doesn't fucking matter. You chose to get out of the car. You chose how you responded to her. You chose how you treated the client.
What would it look like if you could build something out where you actually literally know yourself well enough where you're like, yep, I'm going on that rabbit hole. I'm going to pull this arrow out of the quiver because this gets me out of this space. I'm going to do this certain thing. So what do you want with your mind? And then finally, what do you want with your business? What do you want with production? Like, where do you want to be? Most people say, I want to make more money. 99.999% of the time, my clients will do that. It's never about money. It's never about money. It's about lifestyle. It's about something else. So what do you want with production, with your business? So we're going to take the next 10 minutes or so, and I want you to answer that one question in all 4 of those areas. By yourself, you're not working with your partner, stay with your partner, we'll throw some tunes on. Any questions? Okay, 10 minutes starts now, go. How's your core 4? Every single fucking thing you do or don't do can be attributed to this. Oh, dude, I haven't had time. I haven't been going to the gym. Okay, cool. Problem solved. Well, we haven't had date night in a month, 2 months, because I've been really busy and we got a big project and now she's mad and whatever. Well, no shit, bro. You know, studying's been really hard and I haven't been meditating and whatever. Okay, cool. You see how this works? What would it look like if you could sit down like this with yourself, with a peer group, and map shit out and be able to get really fucking clear on what you want? And then actually build it. I want to buy the car. Awesome. How are you going to do it? I'm going to hustle. Or I'm going to do this, and this every single day until I have it. It's really fucking simple. It really is simple. Yet, it's the most difficult thing that people do because we're so fixed on our old ways and our old habits. And I can tell you that if you sit down and you take this one exercise, network with the people here. I think Colby's got it set up where everybody's in a private group. Ask questions. I'm going to save the last 10 minutes of this to answer your questions, to just do an open Q&A, help you with anything that you want to talk about with Power Passion Purpose Production, or for whatever you need. But I can tell you that this has become my life, and I'm not any better than you. I've just figured out what works. Telling the truth works. Like having a very simple structure every single day works. I work maybe 2 hours a day. I live a really great lifestyle because I'm very specific about that. Because you want to know what my answer to my question is, what do I want? I want to race my truck with my son. And I want to ride horses with my daughter. That's what I want to do. So I built a business and a lifestyle to serve that. I have a client that just came out and met with me, and she does $1.7 million a year. She owns a waxing salon in Denver. And we simply sat down and started talking. I'm like, what do you want? I don't know. At the end of the day, you want to know what she wanted? She wanted to ride horses again. She'd ridden horses since she was a little kid. And a couple of years ago, she felt like because she was this entrepreneur, she needed to get rid of her horses and spend all her time working. And in the last 2 weeks, she and her husband bought horses. And it's completely changed her fucking life. All I did was ask her what she wanted. And initially I got the bullshit. And I just kept asking, what do you really want? What do you really want? She's like, honestly, I want to ride horses. But we can't say that in today's world. I gotta grind 20 hours a day, I gotta do this. Like, what the fuck do you really want? Get clear on that and then go do it. And guess what happens? You become happy. You make more money. You end up looking like Ryan or Tyler and getting ripped and jacked. I can tell you that the more time you spend on this, the more clear you get. I laugh when people say how simple this book is, because it is. I wrote a book that I wanted to read. I wrote a book that worked for me. Like I could write a 300-page book with 297 pages of filler and drop a couple nuggets in there. But I wanted to write like the simplest, most straightforward, no bullshit book that I would actually read. And that's what I did. And I can tell you that life is not difficult. We make it difficult. Creating a system and structure is really fucking simple. How many of you have seen the movie The Matrix? Remember the scene at the very end when Neo finally gets the Matrix? Remember that scene in the hallway and the agents are down there and they're shooting at him? All of a sudden he stops the bullets and you see him looking around and he's like, oh shit, this is the Matrix.
And then they come running down and they're trying to punch him, and what's he doing? He's just like, okay. Core 4 is the matrix. The punches are gonna keep coming, the bullshit's gonna keep coming, the drama's gonna keep coming. But all I wanna do is just sit there and go, just keep moving forward. And if you have a map, guess what? You can do that. If you don't, you get into a clusterfuck every single day, and that little teeny problem that you have becomes a big problem. And that one little teeny thing becomes a week-long problem, and then a month-long problem. Before you know it, your business is fucked. You haven't worked out, you've eaten like shit, and your marriage is falling apart. This is the single greatest lesson that I've ever learned. This is the single greatest thing that I've ever done, is practiced and mastered a system that allows me to do whatever the hell I want. And I can tell you, if you spend any amount of time, as any of my clients in here, I got a lot of people in here that work with me, please talk to them. Please reach out and ask them questions. There's this thing called social media, which allows us to like literally reach another human being in like a couple of clicks. Ask for help. I'm not clear on this. I don't know how to do this. Build a fucking map and get some results. Ryan Stewart said it really, really well yesterday. I want you to win, man. The more winners around, the more cool people I get to hang out with, because I don't hang out with losers. I just don't. I don't think you want to either. I want you to fucking win. I want everybody to win. This is what's helped me win. I don't teach from theory. I don't teach from hocus pocus, whatever. That's why I wrote this book, and this is the shit that I do every single day, which has allowed me to build a lifestyle and a business that's, I'm having more fun than I've ever had. If you want to have more fun, if you want to make more money, just like I wrote here, make more money, get in better shape, have better relationships. Master this. Master the basics. Master the simple shit. And I guarantee you, your entire world in 6, 8, 12 months, those 1 degree shifts that you make put you on the other side of the fucking planet. So, friends, thank you very much. Sean Whalen, everybody. So I wanted to, don't make it feel any better. We got a couple minutes. I wanted to open it up to Q&A and answer any questions that you have, anything that I can help you with, or anybody in here that's more suited to answer your questions. So we've got a couple minutes if you guys have any questions.
We have 2 mics here. Get up and either come to it. Like we'll do 2 on each side. We have 1 mic on each side. Come over here, get in line. We'll make this quick.
Do you believe that it's possible to have a block in a certain area of your life? Because
have a what?
Block, a blocker. Some, for example, the body thing, the fitness thing. For me, I have the time, I have the money. I have no reason not to be going to gym. I belong to a beautiful facility, and I don't go.
Why?
That's the question.
Go. Literally put it in your alarm. Set an alarm for 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Go to the fucking gym and just go. Guess what happens when you start doing that?
You want to go.
You'll keep doing it.
Don't give yourself the option.
Just do it. Literally, just do it. You know what's really interesting about this question, like really fast? You will build the wings when you jump. Like, human beings are the most resilient fucking creatures on the planet. The problem is you're not willing to put yourself in an uncomfortable enough position to have to fight. Because guess what? Every single one of you, I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. Cool, if you had to fight, guess what you would do? You would fucking gouge a motherfucker's eyes out if you had to. Right? But the problem is we never put ourselves in a situation to do that. So what do? We play small. Like if you're willing to if you want it all, jump off the cliff and I guarantee you will build wings. It works every single time, and everybody in here has done that. If you weren't able to do that, you wouldn't be here. Okay.
2 things. Can you talk about the Lions Den? I'm really interested. And then also, what has failure taught you?
I've never failed. I've just learned. I don't fail. So every single thing that I do, I learn a lesson from. And then the Lions Den is a group that I started online where we talk about Core 4. And it's really simple. We've got about 400 people in there right now, and it continues to grow. And there's people all over the world. I mean, there's, 2-3 dozen people in here that are in it.
men, women, entrepreneurs, 9 to 5 people. It's just a collective group of people that are pushing each other every single day to accomplish more. So I wanted to surround myself with good people, and I wanted to share simplicity and share basic, principles that help me find success. And that's what the Lion's Den is.
Where can people find it?
Lionsnotsheepden.com is where that's at. Lionsnotsheepden.com.
Hi, Sean.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Question.
Yes.
So I've read your book and I've read it several times, and my problem, I think, is, and I don't really know how to handle it, is I don't ever do for me. Like when you're telling Mark and everyone here, take care of yourself first. Like, I can't ever do that, and everything's always about my kids, business, my, whatever my interests are. Never. I'm like zero here. I don't have anything to do with anything with myself, and I don't know how to separate that. So I read books and I watch social media and I follow people and, just to see how everybody does everything. Because I just even come here looking for answers, and I found a lot of them, and I listen to people and what they're doing, and my business is expanding and I'm doing so much. But I'm leaving for Hawaii in an hour on a plane, and I'm not even thinking about a fucking Mai Tai. I'm thinking about who can I put a gym in fucking Waikiki, and who wants to open businesses. I can't just sit there and say, I want to relax and take care of myself for 5 minutes. I have 3 daughters, they're depending on me. I'm a single parent, I have a family, I have, business, people depending on me. I just can't sit. And anyone else tries to get near me, get the fuck away from me. Somebody even looks at me, don't look at me. Like, just, you can't get here, it's not happening. That's bad.
What do you like to do?
What I like to do?
What do you like to do?
What do you mean?
What do you like fucking
Everything. Like,
If you had no kid, if you went out and just said, I'm gonna go do whatever the fuck I want today, what would that be?
I would just be on the beach and travel.
Then go do that.
And
Go do that. What do you mean you can't? Literally, get on your fucking phone. It's so ridiculous easy. Go to Southwest, buy a plane ticket, go to the beach.
Yeah, we're going to Hawaii in an hour.
There you go.
I feel like
So what's your question?
Leave your
My
phone
question
at the
is
hotel.
how do you tell people how to take care of themselves first before they help everybody else? What if they can't?
Why can't you?
Right.
I don't know.
Why can't you?
You're not letting yourself.
Just do it.
Do it.
Literally, just do it. Like, here's the thing. I'm a dad. I've got 3 kids, okay? There's a lot of dudes, and this might offend some people, like, there's some nobility that men think that I have to, unless I'm working 20 hours a day, I'm not a good provider. I have to do all this shit. And I'm like, dude, that's as ass backwards as anything. What you're showing your kids is life fucking controls you. You're showing your kids that the job and everything else is more important. I do it for my kids. Bullshit, bro. You're too big of a pussy to make your kids a priority. And so you hide behind the 20 hours a day, I gotta provide for my kids, blah, 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 blah. You see how this works? Like, what do you want to teach your kids? To be independent? To think for themselves? To go do whatever the fuck they want? You can't tell them that. They have to watch you do it. So if you're not willing to do it, they're never going to have anyone to follow. They're going to literally morph into the same thing. So what you're saying is, I can't do it. You can literally, right here, right now, if like that's your thing, book your next trip. Literally, like, go sit down and buy a plane ticket to Fiji. Wherever the fuck you want to go. Where's on your bucket list to go? Where's your bucket list to
Where
go?
I'm going today.
You said you're going to Hawaii.
I'm going to Hawaii.
Where else do you want to go?
Italy.
Buy a plane ticket to Italy. I'm not fucking around. Go buy a plane ticket to Italy. Watch what happens to your psyche. Watch what happens to how you treat yourself every single day.
Hi.
Bye.
Thank you, first of all, for being here and giving us some insight. It's pretty awesome. You talked about earlier. You thought about a long time ago. Offing yourself, or you've had those thoughts in the past. I went home about a week ago, and my best friend actually said that to me, and it killed me. My question is, how do I get to him? Because he's in a very dark place.
The same way that you just connected with your partner. Give a fuck. Sit down and actually give a fuck about another human being. This is like the most interesting dichotomy where I say I don't really care about other people, but anybody who's ever worked with me knows what.
Care a lot.
The more I care about myself, the more I strengthen me, like the more I care about other people. Like sit down and like literally give a fuck about it. You can't save anybody, your name's not Jesus. You can't save anybody, but go actually ask them questions. Like sit down and give a shit about it. Ask them a question. I bet you nobody in this space has asked them any questions. Ask them questions, just like you did here. It opens you up, it expands you. Give them the opportunity to talk about what he wants to talk about. Most people don't. They don't want to touch that. It's dark. That's somebody else's problem. Be that person that actually allows him to open up.
Make sense?
Like sounding board kind of thing?
Just talk to him. Have a conversation. Yeah.
And I did. I mean, I have talked to him, and he's just like, it's almost like to a point to where he's not going to come back.
How do you know?
That's what
I had a gun in my mouth. I can tell you what gunpowder and oil tastes like, bro. I put a gun in my mouth. So I went as far as you can go without pulling the trigger and putting a bullet through my brain. So.
Okay.
Make sense?
All right, yeah.
Talk to him. Be a friend.
Okay.
Most people that are dealing with that, like people that are struggling with depression are focused on yesterday. The people that live like a life of anxiety, they're worried about tomorrow. Guess what? You have control over neither of them. I can plop $1 billion down in front of every single one of you. You can't change yesterday. And you sure shit can't change tomorrow, because guess what? You might not even see the sunset tonight. That's not morbid, that's real. So literally the present moment, like sitting down with another human being and have a conversation where you actually connect with them and you care, it's the most powerful thing you can do. But we don't ever do it because we're so worried about the kids and the thing, the soccer game, the practice, the 401k and the IRA, and 50 years now and 30 years from now, and the whole thing that we're never present. Sit down and be present with a human being, talk to them. It's amazing what you find out.
I'm nervous as shit being up here, so excuse me. But I joined starting the Lions Den in 2015 and December. And I guess I'm really very grateful for my thanks. You saved a young man's life. You know, in November, I had my house raided by SWAT. My wife's mom turned me in for smoking marijuana. CPS took my kids away. I was a beautiful job. I had to sell everything I had. I was at rock bottom. You know, even I had that mindset at a 14-year-old being locked in a mental hospital. And at 14 years old, that's the only mindset I had. And I remember circling my fucking living room, just bashing my head against the wall, not knowing which direction to go. I had a mom, we had 2 kids and a wife. You know, my mom had been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. The last 4 years, I've watched her health just rot away from being happy to not even walking with a walker to going to a mobilized wheelchair now. But you saved a young man's life, you know, from your light. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Hi, Sean. Hi. I actually don't have a question. I kind of just wanted to share my thoughts. Like I'm picking up a pattern. Why can't I go to the gym? Why can't I think of myself first? Why can't I do all this? The pattern that I'm noticing here is fear and lack of self-worth. What do you want? It doesn't matter what you want if you don't think you deserve it. So that's maybe something to think about is, I'm scared to buy this plane ticket to Italy. I'm scared to go to the gym. I'm scared to take care of myself. I'm scared to love myself. You're not going to be able to progress as a person. Your business isn't going to be able to take off the ground. Your relationship with others is not going to get better until you get better on with yourself. And that includes more than going to the gym, like having a healthy diet. That's where it starts. But mentally, it's deep, deep down. Your self-worth. Do you have self-worth? No? That's the root of the fucking problem. You need to get to the root of the problem. Why don't I have self-worth? What can I do to improve my self-worth? Do I want to value myself? If you don't want to value and love yourself, you're not going anywhere. So maybe that's just something to think about.
That's why.
That's not me, that's her. She said
That's why, phenomenal comment, thank you. That's why it's core 4, not core 3, or core 1. Power, passion, purpose, and production. If you're not focused on your mind every single day, nurturing it, building it, putting the right, if your mind is like your body, you put shit in here, guess what it's going to produce? Shit. Have you ever read The Way of the Superior Man or As a Man Thinketh by James Allen? It's my favorite book. It's a garden. It's a garden. Whatever you plant here will grow. If you do nothing, wild weeds and noxious shit will grow. And that's where your lack of self-worth, lack of this, I hear so many people say, I'm not worthy of success. Bullshit. If you've never had it, how can you tell me you're not worthy of it?
Hire her for next year.
Huh?
That's my daughter. We'll hire her. She's expensive, dude.
Guys, I can say this, that if you want to create imbalance, just focus on one thing. There's tons of people that are ripped and are totally broke. There's tons of people that are making a shit ton of money whose marriages are falling apart. Like, this is why every single day it's power, passion, purpose, and production. If you don't work on your mind, nothing else fucking matters.
It's like a table, it has 4 legs. You can put some stuff on there. The second you put any weight on there, the whole thing fucking falls.
Guys, another round of applause for Sean Whalen.
Thank you.